I've been thinking a lot about compassion, things like compassion and empathy, and the value of those things. And I'm not saying that they don't have any value, but what I am saying is when you feel compassion, or rather when you declare compassion a value, who is it a value to? Is that a value to whoever you're compassionate with? I mean, whoever you empathize with? Or is the value to yourself? What I mean is, say there's a person who's in some trouble and you feel compassion for them. You feel, certain emotions stirring. And compassion, I guess, is the emotion of, an empathy, being able to feel another's pain, being able to feel pain when they feel pain, and that gives you a desire to help them. What I want to ask you is, okay, you have this desire, emotion, that drives you to do something to help them. The emotion is strong enough to drive you to actually do something with your time, and commit your time, your resources, your body, money, whatever. You are driven enough to do something for the sake of that person. My question is that enough? Because what are we actually trying to attain here? Are we trying to attain a state of being willing to help other people as an end in itself? Is that what we want? Do we want to feel kind? Do we want to feel compassionate? Or do we want to actually help somebody? You see the difference? The former is your own state of mind and state of emotion. The latter is the actual outcome for the actual living, breathing person that you feel compassion toward. So, I've seen too many people feel compassionate and do zip. Or feel compassion and do something and achieve zip. And that is the point I'm trying to make. In order to actually help somebody physically alter their circumstances, so as to help them to get to a better place physically, in the actual reality of their lives, you have to understand what their real problem is. For example, example I give many times when I talk to people, you see a beggar in the street. That beggar's problem is not that he doesn't have the money to buy his next meal. That's not his problem. That's the outgrowth or the consequence of his problem. His problem is he's not supporting his own existence. He is not doing the work of supporting his own existence. He's given up on that for whatever reason. That's his problem. And if you see his problem as not being able to buy his next meal, you can give him money to buy his next meal. Well, 7 times out of 10, he's going to spend that money not on his meal, but on the next portion of cheap vodka and get drunk. But let's say they buy themselves a meal. Well, 3 hours later, they're in the same place. Because you can't, you either have to adopt them as your child and take care of them as you would, of a small child who can't provide for himself or herself, or you have to address his real problem, which is he or she is an adult who's not doing the work of supporting his or her own existence. That's what I mean by understanding their actual problem. So if you're just compassionate, but you lack the brain to understand the actual problem of whoever you're driven to help, you can't help them. You can help them by chance. It can't happen. You might by chance do the right thing, but that's exceedingly rare. I would say that a compassionate person who doesn't understand what the fuck he's doing is going to do more harm than good. Okay? Because even in the example of a beggar, you give them the money. What you've given them, besides the a $5 bill or a dollar bill, you've given them the incentive to stay right where they are. Because see, it's working for them. They're sitting on their ass, begging, and it's working for them. People are giving them money. There's no incentive to change their life. Okay? So you've just exacerbated the problem by being compassionate without the brain. So I say compassion is not enough. You have to have the intellect, the reason, the capability to reason through information and understand what the actual problem is. So emotion drives, but reason steers. And if you just drive, just push on gas without paying attention where you're steering, you're going to end up in a ditch or wrapped around a tree. And you may take some other people with you, by plowing through a crowd. So think about this. Think about this. I'm not saying that compassion is bad. Compassion is good. It gives you the emotional fuel to keep going, to actually expend energy to help other people. So, we all feel it, with the exception of sociopaths and psychopaths. We all feel it, but it's not enough to just feel compassionate. But what I suspect is that a lot of people actually take satisfaction, receive satisfaction from just the fact that they feel compassion. The feeling itself is enough for them. They morally justify their existence by feeling kind, not doing good things, but feeling kind. But see, I use the word good. In order to do good, you have to understand what good is. And that comes from understanding of reality, not from your feeling. The feeling is, whenever I share of what I have, I do good. No, that's not true. You may be sharing of what you have, and you may be doing evil. You're gratifying your own sense that you must have compassion, but you're not helping the other guy. You're not helping the other person. Think about this.